Hi, I'm John Davis, and this is Motor Week. Join us for track test fun in Dodge's menacing Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye. Pat Goss reminds us keep up with scheduled maintenance. Brian Robinson throws a leg over one radical Indian motorcycle. Plus, we test the reimagined Mitsubishi Outlander. To come drive with us next.
Motor Week, television's original automotive magazine, brought to you by...
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has helped people tackle mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial fields. From our original 4 core products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, Lucas Oil has developed over 400 custom products to help both professionals and do-it-yourselfers. To learn more, visit lucasoil.com. Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
You're shopping for tires online and you have questions.
I do.
We're TireRack.com and we have answers and tools to help.
Like our tire decision guide. It's, take a look.
Oh. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers, offering a variety of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
It says a lot about what Dodge has been up to lately when our reaction to this Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye wide body is, oh, well, another 700 horsepower Charger. That's cool. But what's really special about this vehicle? Well, we thought you'd never ask. Hellcat. Just saying the name sends chills down our spines and makes us glad to know that Dodge has not gotten out of the business of building ginormous fire-breathing V8-powered rear-drive muscle cars yet. They even build them with 4 doors, like this 2021 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye wide body. Getting right to the fun stuff at Mason-Dixon Dragway, there are not too many cars in which you can take off with a horrible crossed-up wheel-spinning launch and still get to 60 in less than 5 seconds. Hit it just right and you can get deep down into the 3s, but we'll take 4 seconds flat any day. You feel like you're always walking a tightrope when it comes to throttle input and available grip until you're well into 3rd gear. Between the supercharger whine and the healthy dose of exhaust snarl, it's a full-on audio assault accompanying you throughout the quarter mile. As always, an 8-speed automatic transmission deals out the gear shifts with precision. It's a blast for sure, even if it does only last for 12 seconds, but finishes at 126 miles per hour. Not that you need any help doing burnouts, but Dodge was nice enough to now include the Demon's drag strip line block here in the Charger. Now, unlike the Charger you or your dad may have owned back in the 1970s, this 21st century Charger is built to handle a road course too, sort of. You certainly need to have the proper mindset when taking to the track. Here at Summit Point Motorsports Park, you'd think there wouldn't be enough rubber in the world to harness the Hellcat's wrath, but cornering grip was surprisingly high, providing our throttle input stayed smooth. And despite its ferocious nature, the Redeye in terms of handling is actually very predictable. It gives you plenty of time to react to any rear-end movement, and it remains easy to steer with the throttle. The front seats provide a commanding view and offer great comfort on the highway. But here on the track, they don't exactly hold you in place, and they position you so far above the track it feels like you're riding on top of the car, not in it. No upgrade for the brakes, standard Hellcat Brimbos. They tend to fade quickly, and the pedal feel is not confidence-inspiring at all. But having said that, the Charger Hellcat Redeye is a heap of fun on the track, provided you don't focus so much on lap times and just enjoy the experience. So how did we get here? Well, if you'll remember, the original 707 horsepower SRT Hellcat arrived for 2015 in both Challenger Coupe and Charger body styles. Over the years, they've increased performance here and there, as well as added a wide-body treatment. Going next level, the Redeye essentially adds a detuned version of the Challenger Demon 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi V8, which means a bigger supercharger delivering more boost than the standard Hellcat, higher 6,500 RPM limit, dual-stage fuel pumps, and larger intake featuring SRT's power chiller. Built for the street and not necessarily the track, it doesn't require ultra-high octane gas, so output comes in at 797 horsepower and 707 pound-feet of torque. There's also a unique grille up front, along with a new hood, satin black trim, and 20-inch lightweight carbon black wheels. While inside you get a special gauge panel with a 220 miles per hour speedometer, not to mention plenty of room to take the family or a few friends along for a hell-raising cruise. Government fuel economy ratings are 12 city, 21 highway, and 15 combined. We average 15.6 miles per gallon of premium fuel. The fact that Dodge puts Hellcat Insanity on the street for as little as $74,165 is still pretty amazing. Stepping up to Redeye cost $82,765. Sorry, no matter how many motors it has, or the theoretical pound-feet of torque it can deliver, or how fast any EV is, it just can't give you the sensation that a car like this 2021 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye widebody can. And it remains the most powerful and fastest mass-produced sedan in the world. There's nothing about it that's subtle, smooth, or even all that modern. And that's why we love it. Long live the Hellcat. Now that Indian Motorcycles has firmly reestablished itself as a major part of the American cruiser landscape, it's time for the brand to branch out and explore new territories. But as Brian Robinson is about to tell us, at Indian, even what's new comes with a sense of history.
The Indian motorcycle brand does indeed have a very long history here in the U.S., but this FTR 1200 is not so much about the past as it is about their future.
Racing doesn't generally come to mind when you think of Indian motorcycles or American cruisers in general. But whether you're talking the board track insanity of the early 20th century or the hundreds of dirt ovals scattered all across this country, Indian has been a major player for as long as it's been around. And that continues to this day, with their factory team FTR 750 regularly winning in American flat track racing. And that's where this 2022 Indian FTR S comes in. It's important to note this is not a street version of a flat track racer, but a bike inspired by one, which is actually a better scenario, because as awesome as it sounds to be riding a flat track bike on the street every day, it wouldn't really be an enjoyable experience. But it's not all about flat track here, as the tidy tail section, upswept exhaust, big fork tubes, and 17-inch wheels with Metzeler Sportec tires all come from the modern sport bike playbook. This FTR S adds ride modes, various rider assistance systems, and a USB port. Our tester also made a quick run through Indian's accessories catalog with added Akrapovic exhaust, upgraded Outlande suspension, a fly screen, and mirrors. The S also comes with Indian's well-designed 4.3-inch Ride Command LCD. It works both as a touchscreen and with trigger and toggle switches. It does fall well outside of your general field of view, especially with a full-face helmet on, so it requires a clear look down to see by how much you're currently violating the posted speed limit. And that's easy to do, as the power is amazing. This liquid-cooled V-twin offers all of the torque that you expect a big twin to deliver, yet seems to add plenty more on top as you keep the revs building, and it will rev, though not with i4 sport bike smoothness. The FTR actually first went on sale in 2019, and most of the updates for 22 are all about improving the riding experience. That engine has been retuned for better cold start performance, and fuel delivery improved for smoother and more linear throttle response. Measures were also taken to divert engine heat away from the rider. Wheel sizes also changed from 19 fronts and 18 rears to 17s all around, improving handling and greatly increasing your options for performance tires, which only adds to the spectacular suspension setup. The FTR feels nothing like a cruiser, rather like a big, hairy supermoto bike that's about to spit you off, while at the same time encouraging you to do things that could possibly be detrimental to your driving record. Pricing starts at $12,999 for a basic FTR, with many options to escalate from there. This S comes in just under $15,000. The 2022 Indian FTR S is one of those bikes that defies categories, becoming just an incredibly fun machine that delivers a more rewarding experience the more familiar you become with it. All of this from America's first motorcycle brand.
Everyone wants their car to last longer and keep them safe on the road. Well, as Pat Goss explains down at Goss's Garage, it's all about never ignoring scheduled maintenance.
In my many years here on Motor Week, I've been giving you pointers on how to make your cars last longer. And that comes down to a very simple rule: preventive maintenance. Take care of it so it doesn't break instead of waiting until it does break and then fixing it. Well, that means things like oil changes and flushing the automatic transmission and flushing the power steering if you have that type of steering. Differential services and all of these things, flushing the cooling system, keeping the proper coolant in the vehicle all the time. Well, some of you have given me comments that I may over-exaggerate these things. Well, here we have an example. This vehicle belongs to a friend of mine who has adhered to the rules that I suggest as far as preventive maintenance goes. This car is 10 years old, has 215,000 miles on it, has never had any kind of major repair to it. The engine is all original, has the original transmission and the original drivetrain in it. So it's a classic example of what you can do with preventive maintenance. So the big thing here is to remember that oil changes are critical, especially on these newer vehicles. You've got to change the oil. You want to use the proper oil filter and always use the proper oil. Remember, thicker is not better, as some people would have you believe. Now, along with that, transmission flushes and all these other things that go along with flushing and maintaining a vehicle. If you do that, you can double or triple the life expectancy of your vehicle. And let's face it, it's a lot cheaper to do preventive maintenance than it is to buy a new vehicle. And if you have a question or a comment, drop me a line right here at Motor Week.
No car is too big or too small, too fast or the other way for us around here. So let's head out for more Quick Spins.
Domestic brands dominate the full-size SUV market every year, and this year Jeep enters the segment with some worthy competition. Their all-new 2022 Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. But you won't find any Jeep badging on either of these SUVs because Wagoneer is now a premium sub-brand of Jeep. With seating for up to 8 passengers comfortably, the Wagoneer will compete in the large SUV segment, while the Grand Wagoneer eyes the premium large SUV segment. The front of the Wagoneer is reminiscent of a beefier Grand Cherokee, before squaring off in the rear. There's also American flag badging, your choice of 20 or 22-inch wheels, and LEDs all around. The Grand Wagoneer's exterior stands out with different front fascia, chrome trim around the windows, and a black accent roof. Power for the Wagoneer comes from a 5.7-liter V8 with 392 horsepower and 404 pound-feet of torque, while the Grand Wagoneer's 6.4-liter V8 produces 471 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. Both are paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission and can tow up to 10,000 pounds. And while this SUV isn't officially trail-rated, the full-size Wagoneers still have tons of off-roading capability, courtesy of Jeep's 3 available 4x4 systems. The Wagoneer made quick work of any difficult terrain when we had the chance to push its limits.
This afternoon, I'm driving the all-new 2022 Grand Wagoneer, and not to sound cheesy, but it is pretty grand. I think one of my favorite parts is the Quadralift air suspension, which is standard on all Grand Wagoneers and available on the Wagoneer. I mean, the ride is just so smooth, and the cabin is so quiet. I imagine long hauls in any of these Wagoneers will be a breeze.
This is meant to be premium luxury after all, and the interior seems to reflect that. It's certainly a huge step into luxury for the Jeep brand. Speaking of long hauls, the optional rear seat entertainment is road trip heaven. It comes equipped with Amazon Fire TV, so you can watch just about anything on the go. And want to control what the kids are watching? The available front passenger interactive display lets you control the rear monitors, navigation, vehicle cameras, and has its own entertainment, all without being distracting to the driver. Don't forget the Wagoneer client services that come with your purchase: 5 years of worry-free maintenance, 24/7 concierge support, vehicle pickup and delivery for service, and more. Pricing for the Wagoneer begins around $60,000, while the Grand Wagoneer starts near $89,000. The Wagoneers will be built in Warren, Michigan, and you can expect to see them in Jeep dealers later this year. We'll have much more on the duo of Wagoneers coming up soon, right here on Motor Week.
Rumors have been swirling that there will soon be a new member of the Corvette hierarchy. Well, now it appears we have some proof. Our spy photographer spotted GM engineers testing 5 prototypes of its upcoming Corvette E-Ray Performance Hybrid, alongside the current NSX and its high-performance hybrid system. Spies say the sound of the C8 E-Ray seems to support reports of the new Vette variant's electrification, intensifying the car's current 6.2-liter V8 engine. As far as style, the C8 has a new, more aggressive look. Chevrolet has announced a fall unveiling for the C8 Z06 model. No mention of the E-Ray's debut, or even if it's really headed to production. A lot still remains a mystery, so stay tuned.
Since they seem to be few and far between these days, we love having sedans in our long-term fleet, like this 2021 Volkswagen Jetta GLI.
To break in this Jetta GLI, I decided to take a little daddy-daughter trip to the beach. And with the front passenger seat moved just a tad forward, Margot had plenty of room to do her sudden happy dances. And with the smooth shifting 6-speed manual, even I had a little fun. But the seats, while supportive, could still use more padding for trips longer than a few hours.
The 29.8 miles per gallon keeps fuel stops to a minimum. And at 228 horsepower, the 2-liter Turbo 4 delivers quick acceleration. More good times to come in the Jetta, as well as this newcomer. It's not the first EV we've ever had in our long-term fleet, but it's by far the most exciting. It's the Porsche Taycan, and it just arrived on our lot. But first, it's the Kia Seltos on the next Motor Week Long-Term Road Test Update.
It's common for us to say a vehicle has been reborn or even reimagined, but seldom do they get a complete reboot like the Mitsubishi Outlander has. It's not just a new version of a familiar design, but an all-new cooperative effort with partner Nissan. So let's hit the road in the new Outlander and find out if it's a win for both Mitsubishi and for compact crossover buyers. While Wikipedia will tell you this is the 4th generation Outlander, the 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, a result of working with alliance partner Nissan, represents a major departure from the previous 3 generations. Now riding on Renault-Nissan's CMF-CD platform that it shares with the Nissan Rogue, wheelbase and overall length grow slightly, but the new Outlander is significantly wider than before. That makes for a more planted feel on the road, complemented by greatly improved noise, vibration, and harshness suppression over previous Outlanders. Engine is Nissan's 2.5-liter naturally aspirated i4. With 181 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque, theoretically power should be more than adequate, but in actuality it feels just barely so, though not to the point of feeling unsafe. So why is everybody in such a hurry these days anyway? Well, we were in a hurry to get our testing started at Boonesboro's Mason-Dixon Dragway, tackling the handling portion first. The Outlander felt quite nimble through the cones, steering is feather light, but still instantly responsive, and there was only minor body roll to contend with. No excessive amounts of understeer or oversteer either. If you've been around Outlanders long enough to remember when they used to boast a rare-for-the-segment V6 engine, or even spent any time in last gen's PHEV, it's hard to see the straight-line experience as anything but a letdown. We felt very little low-end grunt off the line, and it was only once we got up and rolling that we felt any hint of oncoming power. It took us 8.5 seconds to hit 60, the same as the latest Rogue. Nissan's CVT transmission only adds to the lack of oomph. Integrating fake shifts into the mix does somewhat alleviate the high rev droning. Still, the quarter mile was equally leisurely, ending at 16.5 seconds and 84 miles per hour. The Outlander's wider platform not only provides additional stability, but means more elbow room inside. Front to back, it clearly feels more spacious than before. For the most part, the layout is very unique from the Rogue, though you can detect the Nissan influence as things both look and feel more upscale than before. The standard 8-inch touchscreen display features full smartphone connectivity. Adding navigation requires stepping up to the 9-inch setup. Over in front of the driver, a 7-inch multi-information display is standard with a 12-inch fully digital driver display an option. Front seats feel quite soft, while rear seats have been reshaped for additional comfort and to fold more easily. One of the few compact crossovers that even offers a third row, Mitsubishi makes it standard equipment. A wide center console provides good storage space up front, while in back, just 11.7 cubic feet of cargo space behind the third row, but a much more usable 33.5 with it folded, expanding to 78.3 with all seats folded. Government fuel economy ratings with all-wheel drive are 24 city, 30 highway, and 26 combined. We saw a spot-on 26.8 miles per gallon of regular. If you loved the PHEV version of the Outlander as much as we did, you'll be happy to know a new plug-in is on the way. But for now, just 3 trims to choose from, starting at ES for a base of $27,745. Top SELs start at $34,090, with all-wheel drive an $1,800 option on all grades. We understand that high costs make it necessary for car companies to work together these days, and usually that results in wins all around. And indeed, the 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander is better by most practical measures. Still, we came away feeling it's not quite the same adventurous bargain it was before, like your favorite indie band that's now gone mainstream. So we'll keep our memories. For prospective buyers, the new Outlander is a well-done compact crossover that should not be overlooked, and a clear win for Mitsubishi. Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, for more Motor Week, including daily news updates, podcasts, and even complete episodes, cruise on over to pbs.org/MotorWeek. And I hope you'll join us next time when we see if Kia's new Carnival MPV is something more than a minivan. Then it's a top-down test of the BMW 4 Series convertible. Till then, I'm John Davis. We'll see you right here on Motor Week.
To learn more about Motor Week, television's original automotive magazine, visit pbs.org/motorweek. To order a DVD of this program, call 1-800-873-6154. Motor Week has been brought to you by...
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has helped people tackle mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial fields. From our original 4-core products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, Lucas Oil has developed over 400 custom products to help both professionals and do-it-yourselfers. To learn more, visit lucasoil.com. Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
You're shopping for tires online and you have questions.
I do.
We're TireRack.com and we have answers and tools to help.
Like our tire decision guide. It's, take a look.
TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers, offering a variety of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
This program was produced by Maryland Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content.
You're watching PBS.